Beautiful thing, man.
Hey, y'all got used to call me 12, man. 12.
And as y'all know, this is how we get the day started. As soon as I get to doing another video, not on Shedeur, we was going Travis Hunter, but they started to show their true colors. And like I told y'all, the hate for Coach Prime was real. The reason Shedeur didn't get drafted as high as he did was because of the hate for Coach Prime. And now it is starting to show his head simply because Coach Prime has something to say about Shedeur and his draft status. And we've talked about this, but we knew it wasn't going to go away because they won't let it. But before we get started, we got to thank the people for taking the time out to watch the video. While you're here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave them comments in the comment section because the comment section be jumping. I like the comment section. Don't forget, if you are a Cleveland Browns fan, please let me know that you are a true Cleveland Brown fan, and welcome to the channel. And thank you for taking the time out to watch the video. But as we were talking about the hate for Coach Prime, this is what have the people talking.
There was a lot of rumors about the next level, and I can't see that. Yeah. I can't see the next level. And I think a couple people who may have taken shots at my kids that I would go. That's where the shots came from. All you got to do is just sit back and listen. People don't want to do that. They want to create these narratives and create these stories and then attach them to a kid that ain't ever done nothing wrong.
Yeah. How does that make you feel when you see your colleagues or your peers going in on you, man? Like, how does that make you feel?
No idea, man. You have no idea. We've always been in front of the camera, so they know how to navigate. They know how to handle themselves. Yeah. And you're not gonna catch them in no foolery and no mess. You're not. When you sit up there and say something like he went in a meeting unprepared, like, dude, Shedeursanders, who's had 6 different coordinators, who has still functioned and went up, leveled up every time we brought somebody new in, and you're gonna tell me he
every situation.
You're gonna tell me he had on headphones.
So you a dog, your kid's a dog, and dogs gonna always rise to the top. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. You know what I mean? We're talking about
it did hurt. The Bible says God uses the foolish things to confound the wise. So it was some foolish stuff that went on, but you know what? That gave them something that they needed.
And just like he said, unprepared dog. Shedeur went in the meeting unprepared. Really? Because if you follow the family like we followed the family, and if you know who Shedeur is, a person that's always prepared, a person that's always ready, you think this is something that he's wanted all his life. And one of his goals when getting drafted was getting drafted higher than his father. And they knew that. But they wanted to destroy that dream. They wanted to destroy Coach Prime. But now the media is starting to speak out on those topics. Because see, Coach Prime then opened up the mailbag. And now they get to talk about it. But we're going to start out with something simple. This is the Perloff Show on Friday.
Good, though. His ball placement, elite. His ability to layer throws is elite. I think he's got plenty of arm strength. We've seen that on display, certainly in camp at times. There's something about Shedeur. I got a chance to interview him. He is very confident, but not in a cocky way. Has a lot of belief in himself. I like him. I like the kid a lot. I was very into the Browns taking him in the first round. You know, in my tape study of him, to me, if you can be that accurate, he was so tough. He got beaten up in college. I mean, absolutely annihilated behind that line. Did he develop some bad habits? Sure. But when plays were clean, his ball placement is, I think, elite. And if you can be accurate with the football, deliver, and know where it's supposed to go, you can be very successful in this league for a long time, especially in this style of an offense.
Now, that was the guest on Maggie and Andrew Perloff's show on Friday, telling you how elite Shedeur was. But this is Andrew Perloff today.
Because I kind of understand what Deion's talking about here, right? Like, I imagine that Deion's probably never seen any of this from his kid or anything that he thinks rises to the level of being unprofessional.
Totally, except that I don't think Shedeur is the reason that Shedeur fell to the 5th round. Will Howard fell to what, the 6th round? I don't think Will Howard's dad is on a podcast criticizing NFL teams. Deion, you're the reason he fell. Obviously, there's no other possible explanation for him going in the 5th round than teams didn't want Deion in their building.
Teams didn't want Deion in their building. How is Deion going to be in your building when Deion has a job to do himself? When Coach Prime is over there coaching an entire college football team, all the while the NFL season is going on. Yes, he's able to voice his opinion because somebody else's father didn't voice their opinion about their son getting drafted in the 6th round. That's their problem. But Deion is a NFL figure. He's a Hall of Famer. He has earned the right to say the things that he says. And besides, those are his damn kids. Y'all think a man is not supposed to say nothing because their kids are in the NFL? Are you nuts? Y'all want humble and meek, but that's not what you're going to get out of Deion Sanders. Now, Jason McIntyre is hosting Colin Cowherd's show today. And y'all want to hear the media talk. Here we go.
My friend, Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft. I thought it was probably 50% Deion, 50% Shedeur. I'm now thinking NFL teams, front offices were just like, no thank you on Shedeur Sanders precisely because of this. Folks, it's the beginning of June, and Deion is already complaining about his son and what went down at the draft. And you know there are teams that passed on Deion this morning. That's why we didn't want him. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll looking at their owner. I told you, we don't need this crap. And again, I'm not going to challenge what Deion said. It doesn't really matter. Did he wear headphones to a meeting with a team? I don't know. That seems like something weird to make up for a team. But Deion's pushback is, oh, would he wear headphones to a meeting? Well, he either did or didn't. And oh, by the way, this whole he had 6 offensive coordinators. That's not denying what went down at the meeting, him being unprepared. And again, Shedeur has an uphill climb in Cleveland. And I think a lot of it has to do with exactly what Deion's saying on this podcast. So Kevin Stefanski's going to show up at OTAs this week, and he's not going to get asked about, hey, how's Myles Garrett looking and the defense? What's up with Nick Chubb? Have you made a decision? How about the wide receiver room? You know, a lot of change there. Any quarterback update. It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be, so Deion Sanders said this, and now you're getting questions about your 4th string quarterback in June. And folks, it ain't going to end here. This is going to continue. Anytime Deion steps in front of a microphone, nobody cares about the Colorado Buffaloes right now. Travis Hunter's in the NFL. Shedeur's gone. You know what they're going to ask Deion. Hey, you know, Kenny Pickett threw 3 picks in a preseason game. Deion, your thoughts? And Deion, who has a history of talking, that's what made him famous. That's why it's prime time. You think he's going to be able to stand down and pull back?
No, that is not what made Deion famous. Playing the game of football and being great at it is what made Deion famous. He was just able to talk the talk and walk the walk at the same time. That's what made Deion famous. He was able to get under people's skin because when he said what he said, he did what he was going to say. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He played the game phenomenally. He is the greatest at his position. And y'all don't like it because he talked that kind of talk. He did his thing and showed out on the field. And you tried to punish his son for his father's doings. But, you know, yes, we understand. Y'all keep on talking because it's all coming to the surface. Yes, Shedeur was prepared when he went to those meetings because he's never been unprepared in a meeting. His father has taught him how to be in those meetings. And you think he didn't go in there with that mindset? Are you stupid? But ESPN Cleveland, the Paul and Paula show, feel a whole different way about Shedeur. All of Cleveland and the media is feeling a whole different way about Shedeur. Those Shedeur chants are going up and they're getting louder, and they're going to get louder every freaking day.
Opinion has changed to the standpoint of the kid's just going to come in and work. Whether or not he's a good quarterback, no one has the answer to that yet. You might believe he's going to be a good quarterback. You might not. And that's fine. I'm not here to challenge your opinion of the talent. I'm asking more specifically just about the guy. Nick, there's been no drama around him specifically. Any drama? Guess what? We're guilty of creating the drama more than Shedeur Sanders himself. That graphic we posted, the ESPN graphic. The passing chart. Oh, my God. That's more drama, right? Like, that's the drama around Shedeur Sanders, not him.
Chris, my opinion has not changed about Shedeur Sanders. I still think Shedeur Sanders is the most talented quarterback on the Cleveland Browns roster. I think he's proving that right now. Now, is he going to win the starting job? I don't know. Like right now, immediately. I knew going into this, he was a hard worker, that he was going to do everything possible. And by the way, deadly accurate. And that's all we've heard about so far throughout camp is that, even in the red zone where Tony Grossi ripped him the other day saying that because, all of the passes were in the red zone, all those touchdowns. Guess what? We haven't done in a long time. Score touchdowns. You're going to bitch and moan about scoring 3 touchdowns in the red zone? I'm sorry, that's not me. My opinion has not changed on Shedeur Sanders because I think Shedeur is that guy for us moving forward.
Oh, they think Shedeur is that guy for them moving forward. You see how that narrative is starting to change? You see how his teammates are starting to feel about him? You see how the outside media is only worried about Coach Prime. The local media is loving Shedeur, but everybody else is allowed to give their opinion on this man's son, but he can't say nothing. Are y'all crazy? Have we lost our minds that everybody else gets to have an opinion on his draft status except his father? He can't feel no kind of way about it, but he simply told you it hurt to watch his son, who everybody that had any inkling of the draft told you he was going to be 1, 2, or 3 pick in that draft. But how did he end up in the 5th round? 144. They wanted to punish the father. And we all know it. And in a minute, somebody else is going to say it besides Shady McCoy. Somebody else besides 2-5 is going to say those words that they wanted to punish Deion Sanders. And the only way they could do it was through his son, which is ridiculous, which is crazy, but it's too late. What's done is done. You can't get it back. We can't start all over again. We're here now. This is where we're at. So what we gonna do? 2-5?
Get drafted in the 5th round. You can say what you want. 5th round. But now when we get to it and the head coach say, hey, we're gonna split these reps up, man. I know we got some veterans that won Super Bowls. I know we got some first rounds. I know we got this and that in the 3rd. I know we took them out in the 3rd round. But we're gonna give everybody a chance to start. And you like, huh? That's because you see what that kid look like in practice. You've seen his work ethic. Everything you heard about him is not true, right? Don't let the jewelry and the music and the swagger fool you. He a hard worker. First thing the head coach said, hey, he's the first one to build it, he's the last one to leave. Sound like someone else I know. His name was Brady. Oh. The thing I love about Shedeur is he seems way more focused and like, I'm here, and I ain't here to be nobody's backup. I think he's gonna
Hold on. Shady got more.
How long you been playing in the NFL?
I played 9 years.
Chase, you like
14. 4 of them.
4. So that's a lot of years here, right? We ain't never heard this before.
Never.
You know why? Because you drafted a first-round quarterback in the 5th round. That's the truth of it. You try to teach him a lesson, now it backfired. Because the 3rd-round quarterback, we try to be respectful. Chase, I'm respectful. I get it. You're a quarterback and all that, and I get all that. But we know he's not better than Shedeur. We know.